Hi.
Easier. Nice.
Hi. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today in person. We are so grateful for your time and attention, and we want to make sure that you leave today feeling like you've learned something really valuable for your learning and studying. So, it's taken us about 30 years to distill this knowledge down into a 30-day study challenge, but we're here to teach you how to pass, perform, and stay human. So, a bit about us first, so you know why you can trust us. Essentially, I'm CC. I grew up in New Zealand. My parents were first generation immigrants, and they were doctors in China, but started working at McDonald's because they couldn't speak English. We didn't have much money, and I knew that they wouldn't be able to support me financially in university. So, what motivated me to study was trying to get as many scholarships as I could so I wouldn't be a burden to my parents. And once I unlocked how to study, how to achieve things academically and do well and be an exceptional human. That's how I topped high school in academics with valedictorian as dux in arts and the sciences. I topped medical school. I got multiple scholarships and awards, which I'm so grateful for. And I got a scholarship to dance overseas as well, which was one of the best times of my life. And I really want to share how I did it because I love learning and I love optimizing human performance.
I'm Oliver, and currently I'm a oral and maxillofacial surgical trainee. And this has been my dream for such a long time. But to get here, it was an absolute struggle. Even though at the very end I topped surgical interview process, I in my high school was only getting really low average grades. My maths teacher didn't even think I was going to pass. And the skills that I've developed has gained me a dental degree, a medical degree, and I'm now in one of the top competitive surgical training programs. On the way there, I've got multiple diplomas in surgical anatomy, dermatoscopy. I've gained multiple top awards and also lecturing in different specialties. So I think overall, I just want you guys to have less struggle. Like, it took me 15 years. I tried every single study method to get me from C to B to B to B plus. And I realized that there's just some that absolutely trump the other ones. And what this 30-day challenge is us trying to cram what we took to learn, accumulated in 30 years, to get it done in 30 days to save you guys the struggle. And we really hope that it's gonna get you the life and dream that you've always wanted as well.
Yeah, because studying or learning how to study isn't just for the sake of studying. The point of studying is to achieve your dream life, which we really do think that learning how to hone in your ability to learn can do. Studying can bring you freedom and can bring you time because you can efficiently study and earn a really great income. Studying can let you become that dream surgeon or career that you've always wanted so that you can go to work every day doing the thing that you're passionate about.
Yeah, and just to chime in about me achieving my dreams, but like one of the biggest things that I've always wanted to do since I was a kid was buy my mum a house, and I got to do that. Last year I was able to go to multiple different countries to volunteer in the Pacific Islands. I was able to present in multiple different countries, including Hong Kong, Britain, Spain, and all of these places. And it was just from me studying for a couple of years. So it's not even the whole time. It's just learning the skill to allow you to develop your ability to learn and be able to use that skill and do whatever you want in the end of it. So I just really want to equip you with these tools.
So what we've done for our 30-day study challenge is we've made a blueprint of how we got to where we were based off 5 M's. So we'll switch over to the camera over here.
Yeah, so the 5 M's is a way that we've just distilled everything we've learned. And The most important thing is what comes first, and the first thing is mission. And you'll see that mission goes along the whole timeline. So from the bottom to the right, bottom left to the bottom right is 0 days, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, and by the end of it, the end of the month, we hope that we can teach you everything we learned in that time. So you can see that in mission is what motivates you, what inspires you, what is your why. And that is going to go for the whole time. It's still going even now for me. After multiple degrees and my dream job, I'm still continuously reevaluating what is my why, what makes me want to learn more. And the really sad thing is this thing oscillates. It goes up and down. One day you want to develop a new surgical procedure. One day you think it's really hard. And so what we want to equip you in this is how to reevaluate your why to make sure that it keeps you going and doesn't ever let you run out of energy and enthusiasm.
And thank you to everyone who filled out the email and the questions yesterday and reflected on what their big why is, because that's going to keep you going not only through these 30 days, but for the many years to come where you will need to continue to learn. And though the reasons might change, holding on to why you're doing all of this will give you the energy to keep going. So this blueprint works as a step-by-step foundation. So the first thing that you need is your why. And then the second most basic prerequisite to be able to learn and study is to have mental focus. Now, I personally think focus is one of the most important things that people miss out on and skip over, that not only helps you with studying, but helps you with pretty much every area of life. And how I think about mental focus is your ability to hone in your attention onto something that you want and be able to sustain it for however long that you need. And in that time, be able to bat off any bad distractions that you don't need so that your attention can stay focused, like a spotlight. And the way I think about mental focus, or the way to improve it, is there are really 3 things that you can do. Focus is like a muscle. You can train the muscle, like at the gym. You can enhance it with supplements. And one of the easiest things that we'll start with is removing distractions.
And one of the biggest things, and because I get distracted very easy, is social events. And one of the important things to realize is that the 5 people that you spend time with will also determine where you spend most of your time doing what you end up doing, right? Like if your friends are inviting you to play pool, you might get better at pool. If your friends are inviting you to parties, you might go to more parties. And it's important to be able to remove that distraction and be able to use it only when you need to. So if you have an exam period coming up, you know when to remove those social distractions. The other one, and one that took me a really long time to understand and comprehend, is belief systems. So one belief system that I really fell for during high school is the concept of the naturally smart person. That person that didn't need to study, but wow, still got A pluses. And I really wanted to be that person. And the tricky thing with that natural is you can't look like you're trying hard. But trying hard is the thing that makes you study and the thing that makes you get the A plus. And so that whole belief system was a lie. And once I realized that, it allowed me to be more enthusiastic in class and be more engaged and look like a person that tries hard. But what surprisingly happens is people still just think you're intelligent, even if you look like you're enthusiastic and you try hard. So just make sure, it's really important to be self-aware and figure out, what belief systems do I have? are these belief systems distracting me from achieving my goal?
Yeah, because I guess if you understand what beliefs are limiting you, for example, you want to be cool and you think that being cool is not trying hard, then you won't do the things or behaviors that enhance your mental focus. You won't sit at the front of the class. You'll talk to your friends. You won't answer questions with the teacher. You won't engage with them. You won't practice when they ask you to. And those sort of things, they really add up over time. And if you can address them early, then it just means that your whole life will be so much easier because you're not fighting against this cultural, social resistance. The easiest thing to change, though, for sure, is your environment, which is something that I think people should focus on early because it's pretty simple. Like, the biggest distraction at the moment is probably your phone, and not just the phone, but kind of social media apps. So when I'm studying hard, I just block them. And it just makes studying the easy choice, so you don't have to worry about it. We'll go into a bit more about this in the coming emails, and it will have a bit of insight, a bit of reflection, and some tasks and activities for you to do to start removing those distractions from your life. The second part of enhancing your focus is actually training the muscle itself. And this just comes through practice. You can improve the muscle's endurance, so you can, space out how long you can hold that attention span for, or you can improve the strength. And the strength is basically your ability to tolerate distractions. Because let's be honest, you can't have a perfect study day every day. There's going to be distractions that come into your life. That's life. And the biggest difference between, the 90% and the 100% is having the ability to tolerate that and still be able to focus, irregardless of what's happening around you. And that'll be something that we cover a bit more through the week as well.
The third one is one that I'm absolutely passionate about, and it's enhancement. And that will come in different ways through the emails and different tasks. But there's a lot of this online. So this is our personal nutrition, sleep routine, and nootropics. And I've tried every single one of them. So we're here to really give you our personal stack in the upcoming emails.
Yeah, so that will be a bit more on the week after, which is talking about momentum.
So the third M is momentum. And momentum comes in two different portions in my point of view. Momentum provides one, compounding. So even though you can have the biggest why, the most motivated moment, you can stay there locked in flow state studying something, but if you're not putting in the hours, it won't do anything. And the best thing about putting in hours is each of those hours start to compound. So the more you learn, the more easier it is to learn. And so that's one of the biggest limiting beliefs that we'll also try and break down is like, it's important to just learn everything as much as possible. And the second thing is the concept of identity. So when I reflect back on my life, the biggest life-changing things have always been me setting out or putting in place a habit that aligns with something that I really want to do or become. And we'll lay that out in the emails as well on how and what and when and where you should put these habits to optimize yourself to being exceptional at what you want.
Yeah, like you guys have probably heard the quote before where you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. And I think this is relatively true. And the only way to build habits and consistency is to create a system where it's easy and enjoyable for you to do that. And I think, as Oliver touched on, and we will in future weeks, is about creating an identity, a person who works hard, who studies hard, who is smart. We'll touch on that in a few weeks. So the next M is about method. Now, I think that people try and get started on the method or the technique of studying way too early without having established a good base of their mental focus and their momentum or consistency. And I honestly think that there's little point in getting into like Feynman's technique or like method of loci when you haven't even developed the ability to sit and absorb and focus, and you haven't developed the consistent hours to be able to retain that and have it compound and in your memory, essentially. So once you've got these as a base, then you can start looking into what is the best way to study. And in this week, we'll go a bit more into the nitty gritty. So things like priming, what does that mean? How can you do it? Things like encoding, how to develop deep connections through relationships. Recall, so that the encoded information can be set in stone so that you can remember it even months later. And also the difference between learning for the semester, where you try and learn as much as you can, versus studying for an exam. Very different techniques. So that will be in that's the fourth step in our blueprint.
And the fifth M is mastery. And mastery is the surprise benefit of this whole program. Because you think that we're out here giving you some study techniques, but the truth is, one of the biggest things that I've learned when I look back on learning how to study was the whole time, it wasn't just learning how to study. It was learning how to use and master your mind. And because your mind is what controls your reality, who you can become and what you can achieve, once you're able to master that, the world becomes your oyster. This might just be for Chem 101 or Fizzle 203 for this moment, but once you realize that you can use it for learning a surgical skill for the next day, or learning how to play tennis, next week, and doing it better than people that have learned for ages, you realize the skills that we're teaching you now might be for studying, but actually it's really about mastery of whatever you choose to do. So we hope to break that down and how to convert all of the skills that you learned within the first 21 days and be able to use it for achieving your dreams.
So that is our 30-day step guide for studying. And I think to finish off today, let's do a quick exercise.
Oh yeah, the quick exercise. So this is a quick memory exercise. What I really want everyone, I know I've seen a few of you guys come off and come back on, so we'll just wait a few minutes. Oh yeah, back. So I think all of us, I just want everyone to take 3 big deep breaths, okay? But before we do, I want everyone to look around and pick 3 things that are brown. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I want everyone to close their eyes, and I want you to imagine those 3 brown things. Take a big breath in, and then out. Don't forget the 3 brown things. Breath in, and then out. Don't forget brown. Breathe in and out. And before you open your eyes, I want you to remember, or I want you to recall 3 things that were pink. And open your eyes. And what most people realize is that what you focus on, you remember. And I want us to realize that memory isn't something that happens passively. It happens intentionally. And that's what our 30-day really highlights, is ensuring that we have our mission, making sure we get our mental focus, and that's our first 2 weeks. And we really hope that that's been helpful. The way that it's been structured is we're going to have daily challenges we're going to send you it in emails, and each of the challenge will have a task, a thing that we want you to do. It won't take you more than 10 minutes, but it really hammers home a concept that we feel is extremely important for studying. And at the very end, we'll also have a question. We really do believe that questions are the way to figure out what you really need done. And this will be done through an app that we send you through. And so just answer these questions, and we really hope that we'll see you again in the next week. We'll have one of these again and check-ins and have a chat about how everyone else is going. And we really hope that it's going to be such a good time for you guys. And I'm so excited for you guys to come on this journey with us.
So thank you guys so much for joining us for our first day, week 1 of Past Performance Day Human 30-Day Study Challenge. We hope that you learned something today and that you're going to go out and take some action, because that's really the only way to change and the only way to grow. So for those who have joined us live, thank you so much for your time. And I know there are a couple of people who couldn't make it, so are going to see this in their own time. We're from all over the world, so we completely understand. The main thing that we would love to ask is, we're doing this for free because we really just want to get some feedback on what is helpful for you guys. So if you could just grab your phone, search us up, Oli and CC, and send us a DM about 2 things to improve. And honestly, we won't be offended at all. We really just want to know. And 1 thing that you liked and that we should keep going. Do you like live? Do you think you'd like live? Do you like pre-recorded because it's easier on your life? And do you like the idea of having an actual cohort? So like we can set up a channel where you guys can chat and, learn from each other and mistakes or struggles that you are having. If you could just send us those answers, we'd be so grateful, and we'll plan to see you back next week, hopefully with a bit more focus.
See you guys then. Thank you so much for your time again. We love you guys. Take care.
Bye.